All right, good morning. I'd like to call to order the Human Resources Appointment and Equity Committee meeting. Today is Tuesday, July 13th. Council Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Calling the roll, Ms. Brown.
Here.
Mr. Gallagher.
Here.
Mr. Miller.
Here.
Mr. Sweeney.
Present.
Ms. Conwell.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Excellent. Was there any public comment submitted?
No, Madam Chair, no one submitted any public comment.
All right, thank you very much. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the June 29th meeting. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been seconded by Councilman Miller. Are there any questions, comments, or concerns? All right, there being none, all in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All right, the meeting minutes have been approved. Council Clerk, if you read the first item into the record, please.
Resolution number 2021-0162, confirming the county executive's reappointment of Reverend Corey Jenkins to serve on the Cuyahoga Community College Board of Trustees for the term June 23rd, 2021 to June 22nd, 2026.
Thank you very much. I'll turn it over to Director Pomerantz. If you could give us a little bit of background, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. On behalf of County Executive Armand Budish, we are pleased to nominate Reverend Corey Jenkins for a 5-year term to serve on the Cuyahoga County Community College Tri-C Board of Trustees pursuant to Section 3354.05A of the Ohio Revised Codes. The Tri-C Board is comprised of 9 members, 6 appointed by the County Executive and 3 appointed by the Governor of the State of Ohio. Board members must be residents of the Community College District, and the Ohio Revised Code stipulates that members shall serve a 5-year term and permits members to continue serving beyond the expiration of term until a successor takes office or for a period of 60 days, whichever occurs first. Reverend Corey Jenkins is here today, as well as Claire Sacco, who is the Executive Director of the Government Relations and serves as the board liaison to help support with any questions as well.
Thank you very much. Before we call up Reverend, are there any questions from my colleague for the director, from my colleagues for the director? All right, there being none, Reverend Corey Jenkins, if you'll please step forward, state your name for the record, give us a little bit of your background and why you would like to continue to serve in this capacity. Good morning.
Testing 1, 2. Oh, thank you, thank you. As was stated, my name is Corey Jenkins. I'm very delighted to be here, very honored to have served the Tri-C community over the last 5 years. And if it is your pleasure, I have a very brief statement that I'd like to read, and I'll be available to answer any questions. 5 years ago, I stood before this council with the opportunity to share that by then being June of 2016, Cuyahoga County in general and Greater Cleveland in particular had become home. Home, the place where we can let our proverbial hair down. Home, the place where we find rest and sanctuary from the past while refueling for the journey that lies ahead. This proud native of the borough of Brooklyn in the city of New York found his home in Cleveland, Ohio. It has been home in serving local faith congregations, home in serving the interests of the American Red Cross, and yes, home in serving the vast and widely represented community of Cuyahoga Community College. And as proudly as I declared 5 years ago this region to be home, with even more confidence and faith-filled conviction, I declare today, Cleveland is still home. Cleveland is still home because over the last 5 years, we have worked to ensure that in and through the curriculum that Tri-C offers, all residents of Cuyahoga County can tap into ports that lead to access, equity, learning, and success. We have worked to keep the cost of education affordable. We have sought to make Tri-C's programs make sure that Tri-C's programs do not merely lead to jobs, but set its graduates on the path toward meaningful careers and callings. So much so that we share with pride that the overwhelming majority of its graduates choose to stay in this region and add value to the local community. Cleveland is still home because in and through the mission of Cuyahoga Community College, we understand the power of partnership. To paraphrase the words of John Donne in his 17th meditation, No institution is an island. We partner with the business community to build sustainable workforce and economic development. We partner with the local community in the building of access centers so that literally no one is left behind. We partner with the faith-based community to ensure that our students have the space to fully express what they already possess in mind, body, and soul. Cuyahoga County Council, Cleveland is still home. It's still home because Tri-C works to ensure all have equitable and equal opportunity. It's still home because Tri-C strategically partners with people and entities that make room for holistic expression. But finally, Cleveland is still home because over these last 5 years, we have learned that whatever we have been blessed to accomplish in the past, we have an obligation to keep our eyes on the future. Our work as a board, my work as a trustee, lays a faithful foundation for the future. Futures begin at Cuyahoga Community College. Futures begin in Northeast Ohio. And I count it a privilege and an honor to serve as one piece of what I know is a much larger future-building project. I thank you for your
Thank you
time
very
and
much.
consideration.
Very well said. I'm going to open it up to my colleagues. We'll start with Councilwoman Conwell with questions.
Thank you,
Madam Chair.
Through the chair to Reverend Jenkins, you said you served before. What was your, this is a 5-year term. How many years have you served prior?
5 years. So
The second
this
5
is a
years?
second 5-year term.
Okay. And a question to Michelle Pomerantz. What is the law, the bylaws or the laws in regards to that? How many terms are they allowed to serve?
I don't know if there's a term limit. I don't believe there is a term limit. This is Reverend Jenkins' second term, dated 6/23/2021, expiration date 6/22/2026, and there are no term limits on this board.
Thank you. I couldn't remember that. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Does that conclude?
Yes.
All right, any other questions? Councilman Miller?
Madam Chair, to Reverend Jenkins, I'd like to thank you very much for your outstanding leadership and willingness to serve. I believe that Tri-C may be the premier organization in Greater Cleveland when it comes to helping people overcome economic inequities. And I've been reading a book lately by David Brooks called The Second Mountain, The Quest for the Moral Life. And in this book, he makes the observation that the problem with most government programs is that they operate at the individual level, where we need to operate is at the community level. And if people in our community as a whole start doing better, well, then it's going to be mutually reinforcing, and the whole community does better. And I do believe that Tri-C takes that community-wide approach and does a lot of the partnership work that you described. And so I wish you continued success in your efforts, and I support your appointment for a second term. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Councilman Sweeney?
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. As my colleague said, it's very helpful for the folks that are less income in their world, but it's also very helpful to kids like me that had no idea what I was going to do. St. Ignatius graduate, 2.5 years at Tri-C, then I ended up at Cleveland State, and I got my degree because of the foundation that Tri-C gave me at Tri-C West. So that's my story. I wanted to share that with you, and good luck, and if we can ever help, please let me know. And Madam Chairwoman, thanks for letting me talk. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
No problem. I see that Ms. Rosacco is also here, and just want to give her the opportunity if she has any comments before we proceed with the vote. You'll have. Yes.
Just wanted to say thank you to all of you for all the help and support over the years with this appointment. So great that we have alumni on the county council, and appreciate all the help that you've given us, really. Thank you so very much. And thank you to Reverend Jenkins, because he has been a fantastic board member for us. So,
Excellent.
thank you.
Thank you. All right. Well, if there's nothing further, as another proud alumni of the Cuyahoga Community College, I'll make the motion to move this forward under second reading suspension. Do I have a second?
Second.
Sweeney?
All right. It's been seconded by Sweeney. Are there any questions, comments, or concerns? All right. There being none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. This will move to the full body of the council. Thank you for coming before us to reiterate the importance of this role and this appointment to not only the board, but the community and the city of Cleveland and Northeast Ohio. We appreciate your service.
Thank you.
All right. Council Clerk, if you'll read the next item into the record, please.
Ordinance number 2021-0011, amending section 206.13 of the county code, providing for appointment and staggered terms of the members of the Commission on Human Rights.
All right. Who is here to speak to this item this morning?
I am,
All
Madam
right.
Chair.
All right. Director Pomerantz, you have the floor.
Thank you. We had created a Human Rights Commission back in 2018, and today we're bringing forth an ordinance amending Section 206.13 of the County Code to provide for appointment and staggered terms for the members of the Commission on Human Rights, and declaring the necessity that this ordinance become immediately effective. A little bit of background: when the commission was created in 2018, the commissioners were given 2-year terms. They all started and ended at the same date. This ordinance will put in place staggered terms that will create an ability for people to serve 24 months until a successor is appointed for one person. One of the 3 persons will serve 36 months or until a successor is appointed, and one will serve for just 1 year until the successor is appointed. Thereafter, persons appointed to the commission shall serve as members for 24 months. In the past, we've done something similar with the Commission on Equity. We had created a legislation, and they had the same term dates, and then we went in and amended the legislation to have staggered terms, and we're hoping to do the same with the Human Rights Commission.
Okay, just for a point of clarification, there are 3 positions on the Human Rights Commission, is that correct?
That's correct.
All right, and as of 2018, have there been any appointments assigned or made?
Yes, there have.
Okay, all right, and so those have expired as of 2020,
2021,
2021?
yes.
All right,
Also, just so you know, Assistant Law Director Victor Manalauchi is here and he is part of the commission and reviews the cases. He's here to help also answer any questions if you have any regarding the Human Rights Commission.
okay. I do actually, just curious as to how many cases have come before the commission since it's been established. Yes, if you'll please step forward, state your name for the record.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Victor Manalachi, Assistant Law Director. We've had 3 cases so far.
3 cases.
They've all come in the last year, July, September, and December. So just a bit of background.
Excuse me, Victor, can you scoot up to the mic? Thank you.
So just a bit of background. The way the commission is designed, we get a case, and there's 5 days to make a decision. My role is to look at what the complaint is, look at what the county code is in Chapter 15, and make a recommendation to the commission. Hey, this is a good case for you to take, or this is not something that falls under our jurisdiction. And if that's the case, then we'll either refer to the Ohio Civil Rights Commission or nothing.
Or take no action.
Right.
Okay, in the event, if I understand you correctly, so 3 cases have come before the commission. How many were actually presented or requested for the commission to review?
So the first course of action is to recommend the parties go to mediation. That's with the Cleveland Metropolitan Bar Association. We had 1 case go to mediation, and I believe that was settled. We had 1 case referred to the Ohio Civil Rights Commission, and we had 1 case where both parties had attorneys, and they dismissed it.
Okay, so it sounds like 6 in total. All right, so are there any other questions from my colleagues? Yes, Councilwoman Conwell.
To the chair, you stated that there was 5 days to make a decision. Was that, how was that determined?
So the complaint comes in, and like within 5 days, the law department makes a recommendation to the commission on what to do. And ultimately, the commission decides if they're going to take the case or dismiss it or refer it to the Ohio Civil Rights Commission. And then, within 14 days, then we would serve the complaint on the defendant if it's taken. And if not, we'll send a letter to the petitioner saying, please see the Ohio Civil Rights Commission, or this has been dismissed, there's no jurisdiction.
So that was an internal decision?
Yes, ma'am.
In terms of the 3 cases that you have, could you share what type of the 3 cases were?
Sure. So one case was alleging discrimination based on sexual orientation over the telephone. That's the case that both parties had attorneys, and after some back and forth between them, it was dismissed voluntarily. The second case was, I believe it was in regards to a fair housing issue, and that was referred to the Ohio Civil Rights Commission. And the third case was something similar. It was a landlord-tenant dispute alleging discrimination based on sexual orientation. And that's one where both parties cooperated and wanted to settle the issue, and they went through with the Cleveland Metropolitan Bar Association. And I think they got that one settled.
Thank you.
So I guess my other question is for Director Pomerantz. Are there any vacancies, or are is the commission still functioning as originally appointed?
There are no commissioners serving currently.
Okay.
Their expiration date was in February. Due to COVID, it took some time to get new commissioners. They have to be practicing attorneys. And so we are ready and have commissioners that we're ready to appoint, but we wanted to get this staggered terms in first before we brought new commissioners forward.
Understood. All right, are there any other questions from my colleagues? All right, if there are none, then I'll make the motion to move this forward to the full body of the council under second reading suspension. Do I have a second?
Second.
It's been seconded by Councilwoman Conwell. Are there any questions, comments, or concerns? There being none, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? None are opposed. This will move to the full body of the council. Thank you for coming forward this morning. Is there any miscellaneous business? Yes, Mr. Sweeney, you have the
Thank you,
floor.
Madam Chairwoman, my distinguished colleagues. I'd like to have a point of personal privilege.
The floor is yours.
Thank you. Just want to introduce everybody to my father's here. He's 92 years old. He's a retired judge, and he hasn't been clapped for a long time. Can we give him a little welcome? Thank you.
Welcome, Judge Sweeney. All right, if there's no other miscellaneous business, I move to adjourn the meeting. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Madam Chair.